Hello everyone, Jeffro here. So lately I've been having no luck with headphones whatsoever. The first pair I had just randomly vanished, the ones that I brought with me on my trip. Second one, my mom was nice to send me a pair and they went missing out of nowhere. And then I went and bought these. And they snapped right here. Awesome. Just a heads up, sorry if this video doesn't come out the greatest. I am tired as heck and I am working on probably 3 hours of sleep. But enough of that. Let's talk about some of my characters. So, who are we gonna talk about? Well, how about Bill? In a way, all my characters sort of are part of me in the way that I think or act or whatever, or just imagine I wish I could do. Yes, a lot of my characters do play on stereotypes to an extent, but that's how most characters are. They do play to a stereotype to some extent. So Bill in particular, he's definitely more of my quiet, just to myself, introvert side. And because I'm one of them people, I'm kind of a natural loner. Bill really kind of suits who I would be if I wasn't in the military. I probably would be more or less like him. Not cutting myself, of course, but in all the other ways. Dyeing hair blue, keeping to himself, writing poetry or stories, things like that. Bill is actually my favorite character. What are you talking about? Personally, his name derives from my middle name, William. A lot of people think it's fancy, call William Bill, I don't know why. How did I create Bill? Well, I wanted a character that had just absolutely no luck and a personality to suit. So I figured I always like dressing up with that emo style, emo scene, whatever you want to call it, kind of gothic, whatever. And I figured Bill would be the perfect character for that. Give him a regular name that he absolutely hates, Bill, and give him a nickname that he wants to be called.
I keep telling you, call me Rex.
And just give him like a really negative attitude towards everything. And as for the Hitman, I actually created the Hitman out of a whim. I asked my mom to send me some of my clothes from home, and she ended up sending me like my spiked hat, a little ski mask that I had. I already had the leather jacket with me, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to throw this all together as one. And when I did that, the Hitman was there. He is my character that is opposite of Bill. He is meant for all the things that Bill won't do, the Hitman probably will do. There's one character that both Bill and the Hitman fear, though. Mom sort of got inspired by her character, a little bit by my own mother, but mostly she was just kind of something I threw together. No, it's sort of like, I think I got a little bit of inspiration from Peggy from Married with Children. Yeah, that seems about right. Mostly, I just wanted a character that was completely the terror bringer of all my characters. Like, nobody wants to cross her. Name obviously came from the story of John and Lorena Bobbitt. If you don't know about that story, that's something you're going to have to look up on your own time. I am not going to describe it here. I needed someone who could play, at least in general, a female's role. One day she'll be all happy, giddy, the next you don't want to talk to her. Now, let's talk about my father character.
Hey, son!
His name is actually John Bobbitt. He was inspired by a little bit of a mixture between my dad, Red, from that 70s show, and I would have to say the last bit is kind of like a Family Guy mixture. So you mix them three into one. He's a little bit like Stewie.
Oh, man!
Now as for Ollie.
Awesome.
The name really didn't derive from anything specific. That one I just sort of made up and was like, what would actually roll easy with saying everything else. Making a phone call, I figured Ollie was actually a very easy to roll off name.
Run down the stairs, this is Ollie speaking. How may I help you?
I figured it's not a very common name, but it's common enough to where people will be like, oh yeah, that's a normal name. I didn't want to call him Gustav or something like that. Nothing against that name. There's nothing wrong with that name. Maybe I will put a random Gustav in there. His attitude, though. Ollie's attitude.
So, do you have any twos?
If anybody remembers the Amanda Show, way back when, Drake Bell played as this one rocker dude who would sit there and just tell these crazy off-the-wall stories that really just showed his true low IQ. So I wanted a character that was similar to that, but I didn't actually think about it. I didn't make that connection until after I made a few movies already with it. I was like, that's where I got it. That's where I got that mentality from. Now his look, though, his look was totally unintentional with the mullet and the, well, mullet-ish hair and the, that's not a fedora, what's that called? It'll come to me later. Trilby, that's the word I was looking for. Now Ollie, he was actually purposely inspired by the show Breaking Bad. I was sort of thinking of a character that would kind of play into everything like the lawyer did on Breaking Bad. He's the one who kind of configured everything, made it actually fit together. Without him, the show would not have gone the way it would have. Of course, I made Ollie a lot dumber, but you get the basic idea. As for my soldier character, I wanted a character that could compete against the Hitman more than anything. Someone who was more or less on the good side. Now, I mean, I know I have a cop character, which I will be talking about later, but he's supposed to be more goofy-ish. Like, he's not supposed to know what he's doing. He probably shouldn't even be owning a gun. But the soldier character, he's completely professional with everything he does. You'll get a little more background on him a little bit later. He wasn't hard to inspire. I haven't given him a name yet. Maybe I'll make him Gustav. Then there's also the prisoner, who also I have yet to name. He was sort of inspired by Hannibal Lecter, as you can probably tell by the mask and all.
Don't worry, he bites.
Wait, what?
But in reality, I wasn't thinking about doing that until I walked into the store, it was around Halloween time, and saw the costume sitting there. Now, I wanted a criminal outfit for the dad's scene on The Body Part 3, but I wasn't thinking about putting in another character until I saw that, and then after that, I just rolled with it. I was like, okay, let's do it. And finally, my cop character.
Stanley Alert!
His name is actually Xavier Ray. What influenced me for his name? Not much in particular, just the idea of a single joke, which you will hear later on. I knew for some of the crazy situations that my characters were going to get into, police involvement was going to be there. And therefore I decided I needed a character for that. A lot of people actually came up to me and said that it reminds of a Reno 911, but that was actually not the intent. I sort of got inspired by the movie Super Troopers in order to make this character. I wanted him to be like, I believe his name was Fart. That's the big guy, right? I think so. Either way, he was supposed to have that mentality with a look of some of the others sort of mixed in one. Of course, all my characters look a little wacky. There's a reason for that. It's just I wanted them to remain a joke. These are not serious characters. Now, there may be points where they do a serious conversation, sit down and say something that actually is real. In general, though, my characters are all meant for fun. They were all inspired to make laughs. Because in a world with so much anger, so many issues, that's really what we need.
Well, isn't that nice?
You never let off, do you?